it's one thing to learn the art or learn the skill. It's another thing to start making money from your skill, right?
Yeah. Hey people, what's up? Welcome to today's episode on Shecreate Podcast, and this is your host, Juman Small. On today's episode, I have a very talented, beautiful, hardworking sound engineer, a female sound engineer. Please, drum rolls, give it up. Award-winning, a founder of Audio Girl Africa. Please give it up for the only, one and only, Febe.
I mean, I was about to run back. I was wondering who you were introducing by. Hi, guys.
Hi, Febe. How are you?
Hi, Jumai. It's nice to be here.
Yeah, good to have
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
I'm so excited to have you here because you saw me growing in this industry.
I'm so proud of you, actually. I'm super proud of you.
Thank you. For the record, I was at Audio Girl Africa 2019. Yes, 2019. I already started for the Audio Girl Africa when I was still pursuing a career in sound engineering. Thank you for coming, Febe. I really appreciate this. Febe, let's talk about your journey into sound engineering. How did it start for you? And how has it been, the challenges and all?
Okay. Yeah, so my journey into live sound is a very interesting one. Not so interesting, but I grew up in a... How do I put this now? I grew up as a preacher's kid. So in a small church, we run, little sound and just have like an amplifier where you're able to... So I've been always fascinated about that. I grew up watching concerts, Hillsong in particular. I grew up watching stuff like that. So I've had a long-standing passion for sound, and I wasn't able to do anything about it. And because I didn't have any guidance, I didn't know what to study to be able to do that. I just knew that I loved music, but if you grew up in an African home, music can never be your first choice. So I had to go. I studied education instead, and I was still very much involved in music, but basically in church, right? Because I grew up as a preacher's kid. But it was not until I left school that I started now, okay, what exactly is this for me? Because this has been a long-standing, passion, long-standing burden for me. And I'm like, okay, how do I begin to, pursue this? So the first thing was to look out for, thank God for Google. Time. So I started researching what will I do with stuff like this, and I realized that what I was interested in was audio production, and I tried applying for a school in the UK that's SAE. But funny enough, I wasn't able to go because my parents they're not boxed up, and they couldn't even. And then at the end of the day, they could have actually just but nobody at that time understood why I wanted to go into music production.
Why are you not the lawyer? Why are you not the banker?
I mean, why do you want to go in for music production? And my dad was like trying to make me go for my master's at the time. I signed up for my master's, but I didn't. The first class I went for, I dropped out. I was like, I'm not doing this.
Serious?
It's not me. So I was like, you know what? I was already working at the time, and I was like, okay, what can I do if I can afford to raise the money to go for proper UK education? What else is the next thing? So and that's one thing. That's one thing about networking and being in the right space at the right time. So I kept working in church, singing music, which at the end of the day, if you ask me if I like singing, I'm not sure, but I was singing. Yeah. Yeah. So I got to meet my current mentor, who is a live sound engineer and who has been working as a concert producer for a very long time in the industry space. And that's Dr. Edward Sunday. And I was like, you know what? I would love to intern with you. Yeah. And it was like, oh, what are the things? So, and that's one thing about yourself. You have to be able to show value. It was an unpaid internship. But I was like, okay, I know that I don't know this thing yet and I want to learn from it, but these are the things I can bring to the table. And these are the things, because I had a background in management, I had a background in, education, and I was doing pretty well running an event space at the time. So it made sense to just, explore that other aspect. But it was a very tough decision because I had to make a decision because live sound is something that you can do on the side. You either choose to run with it or you choose to you take a longer route and say, okay, you're working. So I couldn't combine my regular 9 to 5
with
it. So I had to make the decision at the time. And I decided to go in for live sound. And I've not looked back since then. I think now everybody wants the best quality.
Yeah, sure. Sound is is a very important part of production.
Of course.
If the sound goes bad, then there's nothing you're listening to. In as much as we are running after quality pictures, we
of course,
after quality sound as well. So, how do you position yourself in the industry? How do you get gigs in the industry? How do you network?
That's a very great question because it's one thing to learn the art or learn the skill. It's another thing to start making money from your skill, right?
Yeah.
And just looking at my own experience, I think the very first thing, if you're just starting out and you want to position yourself, is to network. It's very important. And I'm not talking about trying to network with the already made artists, already made celebrities. Yeah. Like there's what we call peer networking. First thing you want to do is find people who are passionate, who are in the same space as you are. The music industry space is very big. And there are a lot of artists that are coming up every day. There are a lot of, production teams, podcasts that are coming up every day. So you just want to use the internet, use Instagram, try and look out for people that you think you'll be able to, connect with like-minded people and then begin to reach out to them. There's no harm in reaching out. The highest anybody would do is to say no or not reply.
I don't see that.
Yeah, it's invalid. Everybody feels like, when they get a no, it means that they're not good enough.
Uh-huh.
But you have to get to the point where you to know that even the best of the best gets no's. Even the people who are up there, they still struggle with, and you have to see no as part of life, right? It's not a determinant that you're not good. So the first thing, like I said, network. Second thing is develop yourself.
Okay.
Don't just stay and keep learning because there are new technologies coming out right now. I'm not just doing live sound anymore. Right now, I've moved on to Dolby Atmos mixing. So I'm doing more of studio mixing right now. So I still do live sound, but in the live sound area, I'm more of a producer. I prefer the concert production area. I'm overlooking every single thing that has to do with live production. But apart from that, when I'm not on set, when I'm not doing that, I'm doing studio mixing.
Yeah, so talking about that, recording, what's the difference between recording sound and live sound? Is there like a major tool that both of them uses, or what's the difference?
Okay, so just to paraphrase, there are two different things that separate live sound from recording. Number one is the environment. Number two is the audience interaction. So the environment means that in live sound, it's instant, it's in real time. What you're doing is you're working in real time. You don't have time to say, I'll go back to this thing. You're feeding an audience in real time. There's no time to do post, right? Of course, we can record live recordings, then we have live recordings, then where you can go back. But in that moment, you're feeding a live audience that want to enjoy the music in real time. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to recording, it's a more controlled environment. You're in a studio space, you're recording, you're ensuring that you're recording high quality audio to be, treated later, to be, fine-tuned later by a mixing engineer. So that's majorly the difference. And in studio engineering, you have more time. You're not dealing with an audience in real time, right? Mm-hmm. But whereas in live sound, you're dealing with an audience, you're making sure that the audience enjoy the sound in the moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
So thank you for that. But I want to take on back to your portfolio. Let's talk about Audio Girl Africa. How did you come about Audio Girl Africa? I remember saying in 2019, I registered into Audio Girl Africa where I wanted to train. What inspired you to come up with Audio Girl Africa?
The reason why I started Audio Girl was because when I joined and when I started doing my own journey live sound, it felt like I was the only girl on set. wasn't like he felt like, it was like he was. And then I started hearing people say, are you sure you want to do this? Naysayers say, and I started researching. And it's better now, actually, because there's more exposure. It's a global community now. So, and I realized that, okay, this is not a problem of women don't want to do this. This is a problem of awareness, and this is a problem of the fact that there are no supportive environment for women to explore whatever talent they have in the music industry. Let me even explore first, and be sure that let me say, okay, I don't have the talent to do it. That for you to tell me I can't do it just because I'm a woman. All right. So the idea was, okay, you know what? I'm just going to try and find like minds and community of women that are probably in the field. So I started researching. I was able to find a couple of girls. And then I was like, you know what? I feel like a lot of women are not in this field because there are no training, there are no support, even, and not just for the women, even for the guys, there are limited access to training opportunities. So I was like, okay, you know what, I have a background in education, and I've been doing this for a couple of years now. So why not just start something? Then I reached out to Sound Girls, and they supported us for our first training, and that was in 2018. Then we had the bigger one in 2019, which was the one you came in for, and I think that was the main reason was just to create a supportive environment for women.
For me too, I was also looking for a space to learn when I discovered Audio Girl Africa. I was just online, searching for free trainings, and then I found Audio Girl Africa then. And I will impacted me at that point in my life, in my journey in life, when I was still in the audio space. I had a positive, it had a positive impact on me, and I'm sure it must have had positive impact on other girls out there. Thank you so much for bringing that initiative up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We're proud of you. We're proud of the community, Audio Girl. And thank you for coming to share this knowledge with us here on Shecreate. So we are not going to end this podcast, this segment, this episode without a game. So you're welcome to the game segment of Shecreate.
This what you say.
What are you thinking?
That
Permission that what? Permission?
failure is part of life.
No.
Right?
You must not fail because
At this point,
at this point, failure is not part of life. You must get this thing correctly. I'll be reading some lyrics out, and you will tell me.
I'm more of a technical person than lyrics. So okay, let's go on. Let's do
all those technical things that they're trying to tell me that you've not heard the lyrics. I think that when you're editing, you're going to be listening to one sound over and over and over and over again. You will learn the lyrics by force. All right, let's go. So I'll read out some lyrics, and you tell me which artist sang this song.
Okay.
So, music no need permission to enter your spirit. Anywhere, anyhow, say you go feel 'em. Simi, Tiwa Savage, Zlatan Naira Marley, Chike and Bobad, Naira feature Zeno.
Are those the options or just the names of everybody?
Those are the songs. No, those are the options.
I kind of feel like that sounds like a Mobad kind of vibe.
Okay.
Not sure.
You're right. It's Mobad and Chike. Come on. One. Okay, let's go. Next one. I have Jesus in my life, living for his glory. I am on fire every day. Nothing can stop me. Nyon Adejo, Victor Thompson, Moses Bliss, Lara George.
Moses, please.
Alright, another one. Baby girl, I go whisk you away on holiday. Holiday in Mozambique. Follow me, go to Mozambique. Kiss Daniel, Joe Boy.
That's Miss Daniel, bro.
I'm
on fire today.
I'm on fire every day. Alright, let's go. Carry all my money, make you carry me go Sambisa. If I touch your body, make you touch under my short maker. Wandiko, Bayani, Kate, Zlatan.
Oh, God, oh, mercy. I'm tempted to say Zlatan. But then...
Everybody in this studio is smiling.
Oh, my God. I'm going with Zlatan.
That was wrong. No, wrong. That's scary. Oh, the
I'm
last.
scared. Oh,
Okay, that's the last one. Why do we argue every night though? When you know say I love you, bah, or Lord, Toyin Tomato, Feels, Young John, Rugas, the band.
dear Lord. I would apologize to whoever wrote this song. I feel like I'm going to get it wrong.
Okay, let's go. Try.
I'm going to go with Bayern.
Yeah?
Oh, Bayani was.
But anyway, was not
That, of course, was. Oh,
short.
I thought I heard.
Feels,
Okay.
Rugas, Young John, and the band.
I want to say between Fields and Young John.
Okay. You're close.
Sat close, okay, so.
Let's put you on close.
Fields?
No, Young John. No, thank you so much.
Apologies to Young John.
You did well. At least you had 3. You did well. You did well. All right, so Phoebe, like I always do, every guest that comes to the show gives a quote that we'll have to write on the invisible wall now. So let's go.
I've always been a believer of impossible is nothing. And I think on my, for the longest time on my WhatsApp page or my WhatsApp I always say, as far as your eyes can see. So it's more like whatever you want, you can get it as far as your eyes can
See. So guys, dream big as far as your eyes can see. Just do it. Just do it. Read. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Thank you, Phoebe, for
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
So we're so grateful that you're here. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Thank you for listening and watching this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Also follow us on Instagram. Thank you and have a good day, good night, whatever time you're listening to this. I love you. Bye.